Welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today we have 1500 points of Dark Eldar and Coven Dark Eldar versus 1500 points of Alpha Legion Chaos Space Marines. Stay tuned, for this is going to get heated. Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today, I'm playing Matt. You know Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hi.
And his beautifully painted Alpha Legion Chaos Space Marine Army of Doom. It's a very, very awesomely painted army. Check out his YouTube channel, The Hydra Factory. And 1500 points of Dark Eldar with the brand new Coven formation. That's right, I got the Coven book and I'm using it for the first time. So we're going to be playing a Maelstrom of War mission. Let's dive right in, shall we? Okay, so mission Maelstrom number 2, Contact Lost. We each get one objective at the start of our first turn, and then we get one objective for each objective that we control, one tactical objective for each objective we control. So, the Cathedral is important, the Manufactorum is important, the Pipeline is important, the Imperial Statue is important, the Aquila is important, the Imperial Building is important. So Matt deployed, he won the role, he chooses to deploy first. Maulfiend, 3 a Blitz with Mark and Nurgle, 10 Chaos Space Marines Melters, Nurgle Bikers, Spawn with a Mace Lord and 10 more Chaos Space Marines in reserve, a Helldrake. The Dark Eldar consist of 2 detachments, a Battleforged Combined Arms detachments of Dark Eldar with an Archon, and then 1 and 2 Venoms with Blaster Warriors. I'm trying out the Haywire Grenades on the Saberite. We have 5 Wrecks with a Liquefy Gun, with a Homunculus and a Liquefy Gun, in a Raider with Lancers and Night Shields. We have 3 Grotesques with a Liquefy Gun, with a Homunculus with a Liquefy Gun, in a Raider with Night Shields and Lancers, with an Archon, with a Shadow Field, Haywire Grenades, an Agonizer, a Soul Trap, and the kitchen sink. Then we have 2 Talos in a unit. As always, they form my Coven detachment using the new Coven detachment book, Coven supplement, and a Ravager back here with 3 Lances, a Razorwing in reserve with Lances, and a 5-man unit of Scourge in reserve with 2 Haywire Blasters. My Warlord trait is number 2 on the Dark Eldar book, Labyrinthine Cunning. So I re-rolled the roll for Night Fight and I got it. I get to re-roll my reserves and I get to re-roll Seize Initiative if Matt decides to try and go first. His Warlord trait gives his Black Mace instant death, thanks to his boon of mutation, which is very horrible for my grotesques until later in the game. And Matt, will you go first or second? He will attempt to go first, and the Dark Eldar do want to try and seize the initiative. So the Archon, will he seize the moment? He needs a 6. He doesn't, but I get to re-roll it. Try number 2. And he doesn't. It is now Alpha Legion. Turn 1. The 2 objectives were secure objective 3. That is being held by this Maulfiend here, who moved up and uncovered a scatter field as he ran up to protect himself from the Ravager, who was forced into jinking by the last cannons from the Obliterators, that they weren't able to do any damage through the night, as the night stopped the damage. Then this Maulfiend moved up and uncovered a Gravwell generator. The plasma guns failed to hit anything. The bees, the spawn, the Nurgle spawn, moved up and uncovered a target priority shot one. A gravel generator was uncovered back here. Some movement around. And this one is also a target priority one. We forgot to mention, we are playing with the tactical priorities rule found in White Dwarf 32, where you pick one style of Maelstrom mission. In my case, I picked the Dark Eldar Maelstrom missions, and Matt picked the Purge Maelstrom missions. And those missions are worth 1 extra victory point when you achieve them, but they take away a victory point if you discard them. So we're really looking forward to trying that out, because it kind of gives some flavour to the game. And Matt's Warlord trait was Champion Slayer of Doom, so he will get an extra victory point for every character he kills in a challenge. Very chaosy of him. Trying to make up for a horrible deployment, the Dark Eldar have manoeuvred around to stop the chaos from gaining a lot of objectives this turn. I was not able to get into there, and I was not able to get back there, which means the chaos will have 2 objective cards next turn. This raider failed to shoot anything into that rhino. The Talos finished off the last biker unit that was combined fired by the 2 Venoms and the Talos, knocking them out. The Grotesques and the Archon moved into that position there, and then the Ravja boosted after snap shooting to sacrifice himself dearly to the Mauler Fiends of death and destruction. So now we're moving on to Chaos turn 2. It is no longer Night Fight. Will the Helldrake arrive? It doesn't. Yes. Mauler Fiend ran in, blew that up. Objectives were secure objective 3, which he does with the Mauler Fiend at the end of the turn, and subjective of 4, which is back there with the Rhino, gaining 2 more points for the Chaos Space Marines. The first melter gun shot got through the Shadow Field, the Night Shield, and blew up the Grotesque Raider, who the Grotesque lost 1 to their number to assault cannons, then got charged by Mauler Fiend, lost both. No, the Homunculus and the 1 to Mauler Fiend. But the snap shooting Haywire grenade from the Archon put 1 hull point in it. Hopefully the Taloses can do something to stop that. On this flank, the Spawn have broken apart and wrecked the Rex with the Homunculus back there, with the Lord who detached from the unit, and now they are stuck in combat with the Homunculus while the Lord is just sitting there. And the Dark Eldar have some reserves to arrive, so we shall see if the Razorwing shows up on a 4+, or 3+, sorry. Yes, it will come in, and we will have the Scourge, and they come in as well. The Razorwing came on, did 17 wounds to this unit, killed 5. They passed their morale test. My objectives that I have in play are Domination, behind enemy lines, and Fear and Terror. This one is worth 2 points with my Maelstrom primary objectives. The Homunculus died. 3 Spawn now have 1 wound each, and the Rex tied them up with their Fearlessness from the Coven book. And in this combat, the Talos put 1 hull point on the Mauler Fiend, and the Archon put another one, but he saved himself. I killed 2 models from this unit. These warriors charged in with a Haywire grenade and failed their fear test and lost 2 to their number, but they did not run. But the Mauler Fiend is at 1 hull point thanks to the Scourge that arrived. And now we're moving, so right now we're sitting at 1 point for First Blood to the Dark Eldar, to 4 points to the Chaos Space Marines. Going into turn 3, what will the Helldrake do? Stay off the board. The Mauler Fiend still in combat with the Kabalite Warriors, both sides failing to do anything to each other. Objective secured. Rhino moved to that objective, securing it, gaining supremacy for 3 points, while the Talos ripped apart the Mauler Fiend. These warriors moved up and fired into the Razorwing, forcing it to jink, while the Lord killed all the surviving Rex, and they consolidated into that objective to then take it for the late game. So we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn 3. Things are looking grim with 1 point to the Dark Eldar, and 8 points to the Chaos Space Marines. Will the Dark Kin be able to claw their way back? Let's see. We had the Rhino die to a Haywire Grenade and Assault. After shooting it, I wasn't able to kill it. The Talos killed one Obliterator with shooting, and then this unit is now pinned, giving me fear and terror for 2 points. On the far flank, the Mauler Fiend still in combat with the Cabalite warriors. Nothing has happened. Whereas everything is maneuvering around, and this Venom on the flank fired into the spawn, killing 2 of their number and 2 with 1 wound remaining. The Helldrake is now to come on the board. The Razorwing flew off, and the Chaos Space Marines have 3 objective cards to grab for this turn. The Mauler Fiend still cannot do anything. Doesn't regenerate wounds. Literally nothing is happening in this combat. The twin-link plasma guns from the Oblitz blew up one Talos that was vector struck by the Helldrake who came on, flamed 2 models out of this unit, killing the Saberite, gaining Assassinate. Nothing happened to the Venom, and the Spawn have moved up, and so have the unit of warriors in there. So now we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn 4, and we have 10 points to the Chaos Space Marines, to 3 points to the Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar have 1, 2, 3 objectives. So we had the Dark Eldar forces arrive. The Razorwing blowing the Bale Flamer off the Helldrake. Now it's going to Vector Strike it to death, probably. This combat, nothing happened again. The Archon and Last Grotesque ran into the unit of Chaos Space Marines here, ran them all down. My Archon won a challenge by killing a champion, therefore gaining +1 strength with his Soul Trap, with his Agonizer. The Talos failed a charge against the mighty Tech Marine duties, Obliterators. And I was able to get this Venom into this flank for Objective 6, meaning I have scored Objective 5 with the Cabalite Warriors, Objective 6. I am issued a challenge, and I killed a unit, the Spawn, in shooting, which gives me another 4 points to Matt's 10. And we're moving on to Chaos turn 5, could be the end of the game. The Mauler Fiend finally killed 2 Cabalite Warriors, but thanks to Power from Pain, they are now fearless. So the Saberite with Haywire Grenade still in combat, although it does regain a wound. So we'll see if that Saberite can be glorious at the end. The Helldrake put 1 hull point on the Razorwing with a Vector Strike and forced it to snap shoot this turn, while a lot of shooting killed 2 of the Scourge from this unit in the Cathedral. Thanks to the Feel No Pain, they survived. And the Talos survived thanks to Feel No Pain with 1 wound remaining, putting 1 wound on the Obliterators, but not dying in combat. The Chaos Space Marines have gained no points this turn, as the Lord charged in and failed to kill the Venom in close combat, thanks to the Flicker Field, with 6 attacks. Now, the Dark Eldar have 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. Let's see if they can pull something right at the end. Razorwing moved up because it has to move 18 inches. And Snapshot of the Rhino did nothing. Grotesque split up, moved up, and ran to get behind enemy lines, while the Talos went on a crazy rampage and killed the remaining Obliterators. He has 1 wound left. Finally, the Mauler Fiend killed the last model and consolidated, climbing all over the walls. Whereas the Scourge put a hull point on the Rhino in the far corner, and both this Venom and this Venom fired and finished the Lord off that was on his bike, while the Archon detached and charged with his Strength 4 Agonizer of Doom into the unit of Chaos Space Marines to pull them off this objective here. And he was hoping to consolidate, but that didn't happen. So that's turn 5. This is what the battlefield looks like. And the Dark Eldar are now at 11 points with the Warlord kill, to 10 points to the Chaos Space Marines. Matt is shaking his head, and he's going to roll to see if the gain continues. It does. The Maelstrom charged into the Scourge and did nothing. Just failed everything to hit. Then we had the Helldrake go into hover mode to claim Line Breaker in the back because his Bell Flamer is dead, while the Rhino goes in the corner and Puff Smoke because it has no Stormbolter left. So moving on to Dark Eldar, turn 6. I can claim one objective, so I get one more card, and I have 3 in play. Let's see what happens. Will the Grotesque? It will not die with his special Power from Pain from the Coven detachment. No. The Archon has killed 1 Marine at a time, slowly whittling the unit down, while this Venom captured objective 1 for 2 points because I had 2 cards, and the Razewing failed to do any damage to the Smoked Rhino, while the Talos moved further into the back, and once again, Super Mauler Fiend of Doom failed to do anything to the Scourge. So we're sitting at 14 points to 11. Will it go on to turn 7? It doesn't. That is game over. This is a Dark Eldar victory, and it seems that Matt will have something to say about this.
Nope, I won't blame the dice rolling. I promise, I won't blame the dice rolling. However, in 8 rounds of combat for the Mauler Fiend, he hit twice.
It definitely happened. Okay, so let's discuss a little about the game and about your strategy involving the game.
My strategy was to basically pin you, which I succeeded in doing in maybe the first 2 or 3 turns. I was really trying to get rid of your excessive firepower, keeping my infantry models inside of vehicles so that your splinter cannons, which are the bane of my existence, couldn't hurt me. And I think I executed the plan, and I think I did fairly well, and all of a sudden you had a good round where it was just like you came from behind on objectives. I love these Maelstrom missions. I need to state that. I love these Maelstrom missions.
Yeah, the Maelstrom missions are great. Stay tuned for the Tactical Corner where I chat a little bit about the strategy and how I was able to claw my way back. It did take a lot of luck and some good draws on the cards, but it basically meant sticking to my guns. I lost almost my entire army. We both lost almost our entire armies this game. I had a lot of fun playing with the Homunculus Coven. And I can see the benefit of the Power from Pain in the detachment, but I'm looking forward to meshing them into the army. Of course, I'll discuss that in the different tacticas. I hope you had fun. The Archon left standing at the end of the game was a great narrative, just hacking through Chaos Space Marines left and right, while, I don't know, the winged demons that are the Scourge stop the Mauler Fiend from doing anything. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the video, subscribe, or like the channel, share it with your friends and whatnot. This is, of course, the second video with the new Dark Eldar release. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Skari, your grateful host. As a reminder, the missions we were playing were out of White Dwarf 32 with the tactical priorities, which meant that each... you pick a category for the missions. I picked the Dark Eldar ones, the ones that are Dark Eldar. Matt had picked Purge, and if you succeed in those, they give you an additional point. So, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. This is Skari, and stay tuned for the Tactical Corner. Hello and welcome to a Tactical Corner. Today we're discussing the game with the new Dark Eldar and Coven detachment against Chaos Space Marines. So, he went first and he rushed me, and I noticed that my deployment was really bad. So I used my first turn to re-maneuver, leaving a unit on the far flank of Rax and the Homunculus to die a horrible death. This turned out to be to my benefit as it pulled the Spawn and Lord off to the far flank, which really kept them out of the main fighting for the rest of the game, which was good. In the center, my Grotesques, Archon and Talos really put a number on the Space Marine, the Chaos Space Marine army. Now, using the Coven detachment was really fun. It allowed me to have some fearless units right off the bat, made the Grotesques fearless right off the bat, with the Homunculus, meaning that they weren't going to run away, so they were very reliable to stick around for the rest of the game. Now, at the start of the game, I was on the back foot with objectives. So with this mission, you're able to bank 6 objectives, up to 6 objectives. So I kept the ones that I had until I knew that I was going to need them. And towards the end of the game, I was really able to cash them in for points. Tactically, I'm loving the dynamic of the Dark Eldar and Coven book. This was a great try with the Power from Pain rules and the detachment. And it will take some fine-tuning. I'm loving the Haywire grenades, able to deal with Maul Fiends up close. You know, luck involved and whatnot. It was a fun game. Beautifully painted armies. And if you have any comments or questions, make sure you put them down below. And check out Mini Wargamer Jay's channel. It's awesome. Thanks for watching.